What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of WCW Nitro Podcast. I'm your host. I'm Notorious when I am down. I'm here, my man, all the way from Delaware. I'm here with BDC. And today we have a guest on the Nitro Podcast. For the first time ever, we have my man from the It Doesn't Matter Podcast. We have Strap Facts. John, what is good, brother?
I'll tell you what's good. This episode of Monday Night Nitro, baby.
Yes, I know 1995 is when you start watching wrestling, and this is some interesting times in WCW and the world of pro wrestling itself. So we wanted you to be on the show. I called you out on the It Doesn't Matter Podcast, so we're glad that you're here.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. So we're going to kick off the show. They show a replay of Hulk Hogan getting attacked last week by some woman. This woman was Kevin Sullivan. She threw the baby powder or whatever it was in his face, took the cane, whacked Jimmy with it, started beating Hogan with it. Then the Giant comes out, wrings his neck one more time, and then that horrible shave job that you can't get at Supercuts.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad. It worked.
What, the shave job?
It worked.
I'm not going to call out the fact that at some point Hulk Hogan, while he was getting his mustache shaved off, he had a very distinct mustache style at some point, and it took Kevin Sullivan a while to complete the job, so he had this very distinct mustache style for a little bit.
Yeah, the Flu Man. They ended up with the Hitler. Well,
exactly.
With one going down like that. So
he got here, and then he just kind of stopped. He went back here to make sure everything else was clear here, and left that right there.
Should have just left it.
It's in the middle. It's hard to get to part.
Yeah.
So
He made sure everything else was clean ahead of time.
So, Strap, what was your thoughts seeing this video package of Hogan getting assaulted?
Yeah. Can they do that nowadays? Can they do someone beat down Roman Reigns and just shave off his beard? You always heard about that, but come on, man, it's for a movie. Yeah, what's the big deal with? I know in Mexico, hair versus hair is a big deal, but shaving out on dude's mustache—that's next level heat, brother.
Do you recall the movie that he was getting ready to shoot?
Man, they gave movies to everyone back then. Sting had a movie. Raven probably had a movie. But TNT was very, that was the deal. Hogan was there to make movies. Thunder in Paradise.
Well, that was a TV show, but I don't think there was a Thunder in Paradise movie, was there?
BDC, let's not get delved into the details here, okay? So, when Sting made the movie Shutter Speed, can you try remembering these? I don't, but...
I don't either.
There are a lot of made-for-TV movies now. Shutter Speed was one just for Sting. A lot of those made-for-TV movies. Do you remember? I mean, they were all over the networks. I remember the early ones. Like, one was called I Know My First Name is Steven. You ever heard of that one?
Nope, that sounds like a
that has nothing to do with wrestling, but that was an early, like, on NBC. This little child got kidnapped by, a child predator, and he grows up with that guy, and then he finally finds his real parents and family, and he's like, I know my real name is Steven.
Let Tyler Perry take that over. He'll boost the ratings for that one. All right. Well, we are in Chicago, Illinois, the home of Mongo McMichael, the Chicago Bears. Mm-hmm. We have Eric Bischoff, Mongo McMichael, and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary. They all got Bears jerseys on, and Bobby had the question mark for supposed to be his number.
And they had them all tucked in. So, you had Mongo, who was waist high, and Eric's was a little lower, and Bobby's was to his neck.
Old man style.
I looked out, I was like, they're really all tucked in? Okay, we'll give it that. But yeah, Bobby with the question mark was genius. It was like, yeah, that is so Bobby. That is so Bobby.
I mean, they were in the Rosemont Horizon, home of WrestleMania 13, and yes. I mean, it was very black and dark in there, but I wonder what the attendance was. It seemed like a really hot crowd, and they only taped, obviously a 1-hour episode of Nitro, but I don't know what they did back then. Did they have dark matches, or what else did they film?
BDC got the dark matches. You want to say the dark match real quick?
No, we could save the dark matches till the end, because
all right.
You know, with the way this show runs, we will need them at the end. So,
All right.
Yeah.
All right, well, we see Sting. He approached the commentary booth, and he said he's going to solve the problem between the Macho Man and the Total Package. And, you know, what's pretty unique, this is the 6th week we've been doing this show. Instead of confronting, you know, the crowd, they've been going to the commentary booth and startling Eric and Bobby the Brain. Everybody so far.
Yeah, they've done that a lot.
I like it.
And it literally started what? It started with Ric Flair, so I think it started a couple of weeks back where he just came out there and he rips off Eric's headset. But I mean, even in episode 1, when they were down at the ring, wrestlers were coming down there messing with them there. That was Scott Norton came down there and confronted Eric right there at ringside. So yeah, that's kind of it's a growing theme. Yep. One of two themes that we saw with early Nitro was one that they were going to get confronted, and number 2 that Randy Anderson was going to be heavily involved in something. Those have kind of been the two themes that have run with the earlier editions of Nitro. So,
yes.
But yeah, Sting came out, and this time Sting didn't come out and rip the headset off. He just came out, started talking, and Eric was like, "Get him a mic." I guess he was appreciated that he wasn't getting his ear ripped off.
Till later on that night.
Yeah.
Well, all right, our opening matches for the United States Championship. We have the champion Sting taking on the Shark. The Shark, former Earthquake, and whatever character he was at the time. And he's from Tsunami.
That's awesome. This character's so stupid. It's a fucking shark from Tsunami. It's like, oh man, this shit was corny as hell. And Kevin Sullivan booked that way for Hulk Hogan. He's like, Hulk Hogan only understands one thing: it's cartoons, it's larger than life characters. I'm gonna give him larger than life characters. I'll give him a fucking shark.
Basically,
yeah. And Sting, like you said, Sting was making a return. You previewed this last night on the It Doesn't Matter podcast. Sting versus an opponent. Tony Khan does it all the time on fucking AEW. It's like MJF makes an appearance. It's like, what the in-ring action? Shelton Benjamin. It's like, is he going to face someone, or is he just, So, I mean, obviously you can advertise this because of what it was, but I would take. I love this match very much. I would take this and I would copy it and say, who on the roster right now on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown? It's like, copy this match. So get a hot baby face with some notoriety. Don't want to say Jey Uso. He's on main event now. But someone else. And someone like a big bruiser. I don't want to say like a Bronson Reed, but maybe a Bronson Reed, right? And just go out there, light the crowd up, give them exactly what they want, and get the hell out of there, and leave them wanting, begging, give me more, because that was hot shit.
Well, he got his ass whipped in the beginning because the Shark.
Yeah.
He didn't even let Sting really get in the ring, and the Shark was about his business at the time. He was making a dominant statement. Then he missed in the corner. Sting, 2 stinger splash, top rope, crossbody, match is over.
That's right. No finisher in sight.
It took more time for Sting to paint his face than that whole damn match.
Right. Which mind you, the face paint was never even damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's a wrestling figure reality here. Keep the face paint intact.
And Strap, this is our 3rd time seeing Sting on Nitro, and that's the 2nd time winning with that crossbody.
Yeah.
It's a devastating maneuver. That's why The Rock did it in his debut matches. It's a devastating hold. You put all your body weight using the momentum known as gravity, if you believe in science, whatever that is. And he gets the pinfall on the larger opponent.
Yes. All right, well, they show another recap of Hogan getting attacked again. We already discussed that. But our next match, we have Sabu taking on the debut of Mr. JL.
Ooh, Sabu,
JL,
what the hell?
Everybody know JL is Jerry Lynn. If you didn't know that, now you know.
Now you know.
But before we get into this match, did you guys recognize a young Justin Roberts in the crowd wearing a black jersey?
I did.
I'm like, is that him? Now Google. Yeah, he's from Chicago. That's him.
And so I think that makes the second. I think it's the second time that on one of these podcasts, I've called out or seen somebody who ended up in wrestling lore as a fan as a kid. I think Jeremy Barash was the other one.
Yep,
When he was
Barash,
when he was just doing radio news before he got into wrestling. And it's cool to see these young cats, or these cats as young fans, actually out there enjoying themselves. And it's just like the chances that they would show up on TV and then be a part of the business of where they're actually seen on TV. Thought that was really cool. And I mean, of course, the first thing I saw as soon as I saw him, I was like, that's Justin Roberts. And then the first image I saw was him getting choked out by Daniel Bryan in my head. So I don't know. But that was literally the first image I saw when I saw him in it. It was not him doing ring work. It's him getting choked out by Daniel Bryan.
And that's the very reason why a cameo appearance later on in the show, some people cannot watch some crippling wrestling matches.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, well, back to this match. Sabu was looking pretty impressive.
Yep.
At this time, was there a partnership between ECW and WCW, or was just WCW just stealing all the talent from ECW at the time?
I don't think there was an actual partnership per se. I don't think so.
So WCW was stealing talent from ECW at the time.
No stealing. It's if you don't get paid, then you don't work there. That's it.
I mean, at that point, I don't think Sabu had really firmly established himself in ECW like he did when he went back. I mean, he really got established in ECW when he went back, but when he was in WCW, I don't think he was really all that firmly established at the time.
It's like, listen,
I mean, at least on mainstream TV. Let's keep it clear. Not on mainstream TV. He was established elsewhere. He was established before in indies and stuff like that. The legends of his scarring and all this stuff like that. All of that's very real. It's just mainstream wise, he wasn't really well known at that point.
Oh, I think he was well known in Chicago here.
Oh, absolutely.
Fans were definitely chanting his name.
Yeah.
They say his name, and he appears. SABU.
It was awesome that somebody said that Sabu knew Detroit very well, even though they were in Chicago. But
Bischoff had me confused. I'm like, wait a minute.
Like wrong city, dude.
I mean,
Wrong city, dude.
They would announce it next week. What Eddie was? Did they announce Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko for next week or something like that?
I
thought they did. I thought they did, but you had all these guys from ECW because that's where they were from, including Benoit, including Sabu, and just say they were compare them to just being like single in the romantic sense. It's like they're out there, they take dates, they take bookings everywhere. They might be attached to a promotion, but they don't have that long-term contract. So Eric Bischoff, he's got boatloads of money, of Turner money.
Good old Ted Turner money.
And so, of course, he can offer engagement rings to all these mother effers. So it's like, here you go, sign them up. Sign them up. Now you're on my show. It's like, oh, I was an ECW guy. Well, you're a WCW guy now. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Sabu.
JL. But yeah, so they were chanting for Sabu, and the fans were also chanting Hogan sucks. Hogan was even out here, but
which was hilarious to me.
Yeah. But Sabu, he won with the camel clutch. And then after the match, he turned up a little bit. And then he did this ugly ass sunset flip over the top rope, Mr. JL, and that was it.
Flip powerbomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrestles like a cat. Wherever he wants to go, he goes. Sabu. Doesn't matter if the table is the right way, the opponent's upside down or not. He's just going to do whatever he wants to do. Sabu wrestles like a cat, and not Ernest Miller.
I mean, up to this point, Sabu had a match that he won and got DQ'd out of the victory. And then, because he fought Alex right through the table. After what happened after the match, he decided to go after him and put him through a table and got DQ'd after he got the W. So he learned from that and learned not to put him through a table so he could retain his W.
Yep.
I mean, you're trying to put yourself in the mindset of Nitro versus Raw back then. This was a very exciting match. I do not feel like you'll find anything like this on Monday Night Raw. And this is the type of match, a future cruiserweight division style match that Nitro would use and succeed with eventually.
Yeah, we discussed that in the last episode how cruiserweights were literally, it was a genre that was not seen in WWF as of yet, and that literally the same people who heralded it into WCW were the same people who heralded it into the WWF. Facts. Being the core group of the Radicals, which is Malenko and Benoit and Guerrero. Sad. And such, and they basically took it right to WWF, and they brought that style out there too. So those matches, cruiserweight matches, are always fast paced. They're always fun to watch, and it was amazing that back at that time it was not something that was more mainstream than it was.
Yes. All right, well, after this, we have our first interview with Mean Gene Okerlund, and he's in the ring with Sting, Luger, and then Macho Man Randy Savage comes out. My God, I don't know who looked worse, Macho Man with that damn cheetah print outfit or Lex Luger with that big-ass blazer and blue jeans he had on.
They both look like bosses.
Yeah.
I like how this segment came out because, Bischoff, Mongo, and the Brain, they're doing their thing. They're doing the talking heads, and they're giving you a recap of the show. Meanwhile, in the background, Sting and Mean Gene and Luger are just walking to the ring, no music, just quietly, right. And then, let's throw to the guys in the ring, and there we are. It was great production, I think. Great production.
Yeah. So Sting said he's going to try to, solve the problem between Macho Man and Lex Luger. So you're thinking, okay, maybe they're going to try and get an alliance going. But no, that's not happening. Savage said that, everybody's going to attack except for you, Sting. And Sting basically just said, everybody's here for the World Heavyweight Championship, but, we got to do what we got to do.
Right.
And Sting...
Be careful. Don't you go trying to slap me.
Yeah. Yep, don't try and slap him. But Luger and Savage, they have a match at Halloween Havoc, and if they both win, them two could just, go at it one more time.
What a convoluted bunch of crap that was.
Yeah, seriously. That. First,
because
it seemed
clearly
like
they didn't resolve the matters the first time they wrestled, so they need to do it again after beating their respective opponents.
You're trying to get an alliance going next year.
And Kamala.
You got to fight each other? Like, what? Make no damn sense.
So wait, Macho Man had to beat Kamala, right?
And Luger had to beat Ming.
And Luger had to beat Ming.
And whoever wins that, they can fight each other. Like,
I'd rather have it reversed. Luger and Kamala. And Macho and...
I think Ming, it was episode 3, Luger and Ming. They fought, and Ming beat the shit out of him. And Ming won.
Oh, Ming won?
Yeah. Yo.
Here's your hot re-debuting superstar, Lex Luger, 3 weeks in. Oh, the sheets must have been burning up at that time. Can't believe they would do that to the main event guy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I sat there and as I'm watching the interview, I'm just like, okay, this sounds like it's being thrown together. And then, of course, when he throws out the challenge, Macho's like, yeah, let's go. And Lex Luger's like, no, hold on a minute. I got to prepare for Ming. I didn't think. Sting was just like, you're pathetic. I'm like, yeah, because literally that's what it sounded like. That sounded kind of pathetic at that moment.
Yep, basically.
It was like, you just, he sounded like he was trying to walk that back real quick, and Sting wasn't having it. He was like, I've been sticking up for you. I don't want to be a babysitter. I'm tired of being a babysitter, which, of course, Lex Luger's first 3 weeks, only thing he talked about was how he was tired of playing with boys, and now here Sting said he's tired of being a babysitter, so that hit different. And
he's just talking about outside of the ring, that's all. Outside life.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm tired of playing with boys. I'm tired of playing with kids. I want to play with the big boys. And he's like, yeah, well, you're being a baby right now, so I'm tired of babysitting you. And finally, he basically goads him by like, are you the total package? You don't sound like the total package. Are you the total package? You're like, yes, I am. I'll accept. So
Luger and Sting will be a riot for the next year of Nitro. Just you
Basically,
watch.
he had to punk him into the match. That's what he had to do. He had to punk him into the match.
Basically.
Yep, basically.
You're gonna love it. I loved it. One more year of Luger and Sting. You're gonna lose your damn mind.
Woo-hoo.
Jeez. All right, well, after this, we see a limo pull up, and Eric Bischoff said this is one of the top talents they signed from Japan. No, you signed him from ECW, actually, but it doesn't matter. And we see the debut of Chris Benoit, and Chris Benoit says, WCW, where the big boys play. And then he just starts walking inside to the arena.
Yeah.
With the mullet that Dave Meltzer would salivate over.
Yeah, that hair was not immaculate.
I bet that was 20 takes for Mr. Benoit. I thought, you think Ricochet can't cut a promo? Look, Mr. Benoit here. Amazing athlete, terrible promo.
Why did that limo driver come out with a cell phone?
It
to open the door.
It was not clutch.
In case he murdered him. I'm being attacked.
It's the little things. All right, so after this, we see Disco Inferno. He's out here doing his dance and, showing off that nice shirt he had on. And Big Bubba Rogers, Big Boss Man, he comes down to the ring, and he's just looking at Disco. His music gets cut off. Disco had the old boom box. He started playing the song again. And Disco just started dancing. And after this, Hulk comes out, stares down Disco. And then Disco puts a WCW hat on Hulk's shoulder pad.
He literally stole the hat from a kid in the crowd and put it on his spike.
It looked like one of those fake things Wildcat Willie gave to the kid, so it was free. No one would pay for that shit.
Hawk didn't realize there was a hat on his damn shoulder pad.
That's real heat. Hawk was like, what the fuck? Pissed off.
Oh, man. So while this match is taking place, Big Bubba, he attacks Hawk, and then Disco, he gets on the ring apron. He just starts dancing. Hawks get distracted. Chases Disco.
Tears up his shirt.
Tears his shirt up. And
gets DQ'd.
No, he get counted out.
Yeah, he gets DQ'd. He counts out the count out. Oh. It's over.
I gotta love the Legion of Doom. Everything is real to them. When they win, they're very excited to win. And when Hawk realizes, oh shit, I'm gonna get counted out, he runs like the Dickens to the ring. It's real to him, damn it. It's awesome.
Yeah. And for the record, on this show so far, we had the one match with JL and Sabu, but outside of that, we had 2 matches, 5 talents, and they totaled 3 minutes.
Yeah, JL and Sabu had the longest match so far.
Yeah.
The new guys.
Shark was literally like less than a minute 30, and this match might have barely broke a minute 30.
That's okay. It's keeping pace.
Yeah.
Yes. Because, we got an interview coming up with Mean Gene Okerlund. He comes out. Well, he's out with Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart, and they both rocking the black. Mm-hmm. Hogan, no mustache. Actually, he was looking, pretty good with the dark. Because, a year later, it's bound to happen. Excuse me. So this was a different look. The fans are booing Hogan, and Hogan says he realized the games are over. It's time to take care of some family business. That he's gonna play the Giant and Kevin Sullivan. They defaced Hulk Hogan. And then Hogan said he's going to rip the neck brace off and he's going to beat the Giant. And Mean Gene said, oh, no, there's a restraining order on Hogan, or a restraining order on the Giant. From who? From WCW? Or on Hogan?
Well, it was weird because Bobby Heenan, in the very beginning of the show, he had mentioned that there was a restraining order that was going to keep them separated. He mentioned that Hogan was out there, that, Giant was outside, and that, they couldn't keep them apart and all this stuff like that. And talked about this restraining order, and they kind of just floated over throughout the night. But me and Gene talked about the restraining order again after, and Hogan decides that, if he's not going to come out, if he's not going to come in, I'm going to go out there. And then Giant shows up in that monster truck, like he just got there, not like he's been there all night. And, then Hogan goes out there after him. Yeah.
What the hell the Zodiac was doing on top of that damn monster truck? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, It was something.
Yeah, and Hogan also talking about when he used to work in the New York area, that the promoter had a bigger ego than the company itself, and that he's dying a slow death, and this is why WCW is growing right now. Brother.
Yeah. He also did make mention this time around of Andre the Giant. He actually mentioned him by name. Up to this point, they hadn't really
He said it one
mentioned
time.
Andre the Giant by name in reference to being the Giant's father. This was the first time that it was actually mentioned. Hogan mentioned Andre the Giant by name when talking about the Giant being his son.
John, what are your thoughts about this promo?
It just, you ever think sometimes someone says, this person showed early signs of dementia. And that would be this promo here. You can see where Hulk Hogan is a completely delusional human being. Because this is why Kevin Sullivan had to cater to him as a booker. Because you see Hogan, I'm sure they had lots of talks and discussions in the back, and just by talking to people, you get a feel of who and what they are, what their values are, and where they're from. And it's like, Hogan, you're cutting the same promo that you cut as Red and Yellow Hogan, but now you're evil. So this is you being evil. So you're exactly the same, except you're not kissing anyone's ass, especially even though you still were kissing the ass of Hulkamaniacs, you know. And I mean, it takes time to redevelop your character. It takes time to redevelop into NWO Hollywood Hogan, you know, and dressing, like you said, dressing in the black hair. This was him experimenting with that, and he would not become, Starrcade '97 Hogan for a very long time. Well, actually, imminently. But this is what Hogan thinks being evil is, and he is totally clueless. And he just
black means evil.
So it's an attempt. It's kind of like when the teenagers, they start wearing the black and the goth makeup as a teenager. Like, let them experiment. They'll grow out of it. I mean, I remember high school. I remember all them kids being goth, and it's like, now they're just regular people. Theo Bologna. Yeah. So, it's just a phase, man. It's just a phase, and Hogan is developing his phase. It's a
fad. They'll grow out. They'll grow out of it.
Or really become it in the next 2 years. So bad promo, just bad, just awful, cringe-inducing promo from the Hulkster.
Quite.
Yeah. All right, well, it's our main event. We have a cage match between the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Double A Arn Anderson. Before this is happening, the police came up to Eric Bischoff and said they're keeping Hogan and John away from each other. Mm. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, you see nothing more of them the rest of the night. It's dead at this point.
Well, they didn't have time for it.
Yep. And we see Ric Flair with the beautiful purple butterfly robe. And then ding ding, Flair gets in, he's doing his thing. He's bringing it to Arn Anderson again.
Jobber entrance for Arn.
This is the third time we've seen Arn Anderson in 6 weeks, and he hasn't had not one entrance yet. He's just in the ring every single time.
Yep.
He's got good music too.
He does. But these guys are going back and forth, and at this time in 1995, there was no blood in '95 on neither company.
Yeah.
So they're on the cage, they raking each other's face on the cage and all stuff like that, and then Flair's chopping them. Arn Anderson falls, get caught between the top rope, and then we see that weasel Brian Pillman trying to, get in the cage. The reason for this cage match, so Brian Pillman can't get in the cage, and
he still got in the cage. He
can still get in. He was climbing up, and then Flair cold clocked him one good time. Arn Anderson, you see him going in his trunks, not much down there, but he went down in his trunks. Flair was going for the figure four, poke him in the eye, and then wham with the left, and Flair's knocked out. Arn Anderson wins with a foreign object.
Yep. Which was a quick knockout because, first thing I noticed when I looked at the cage, I was like, these cages, it literally just got four sides of a cage, put it up on beams, and they had it hanging from the whatchamacallit. I'm like, okay, there is literally, you can literally see the cage just like kind of hanging on the side of the ring. It was like, okay, so it hit hard enough. It's like, is the cage just gonna do this? just swing off. It's like they look really flimsy. And I was like, okay. I was like, man, what a difference 30 years makes, man.
Well, just 1 year earlier at Halloween Havoc, Ric Flair and Hogan had a retirement match inside a cage, and I'm pretty sure that cage was more deluxe than whatever they found on the streets of Chicago here.
That shit was terrible.
But if you want to see a cage match featuring the Nature Boy Ric Flair on speed, then you will enjoy the hell out of this match. He came out like a house of fire. Not only his entrance, getting to the ring, firing the shots against Arn. This is not Ric Flair's style, but this is what the style is. You know, just him going chop, strike, babyface Ric Flair. And you just know how this is going to end. I still remember this. So, and BDC already watched the next 2 episodes. But man, that poor fucker Sting. But again. But I enjoyed this cage match. I enjoyed the whole show. Like I said, I really appreciated the pacing of the show because maybe with all the knowledge, as Dom says, with all the knowledge, it's like, haven't seen pacing like this in a long time. Like, let's get this stuff out there. Let's make it hot. Yeah. Let's make it relevant, and let's go. 1 hour.
Literally, the theme of the night was ambush, because every match, somebody was getting ambushed. Like, literally, Sting got ambushed by Shark. Sabu ambushed JL.
Big Bubba
Nature Boy looked like he was going to ambush Double A, but then he kind of held back to the bell ring, and then he went after him. I was like, yo, ambushing everybody. Okay, let's go.
You know, it felt like Dom. It felt like the very first episode of the Rundown, the original Rundown with the clock. 10 minutes. Let's go. Topic. That's
it.
It's like, we can't do this shit anymore. It's like, what do you mean you can't? Drink some Surge.
Well, Flair's pissed off. He goes to the commentating booth one more time. He rips off Eric Bischoff's headset, broke the headset, and said next week.
Breaks it this time.
He said he's going to either find a partner or he's going to be by himself, and he's going to challenge Pillman and Anderson. Let's settle it in the ring next week on Nitro. So, 3 weeks in a row, Flair and Anderson one more time.
And I'll find a partner.
Yep.
Anyway.
So, you enjoyed the show. Ask your question,
I think that was
BDC.
fourth week in the conflict because he faced Brian Pillman the week before the trifecta versus Double A.
Yep.
So, yeah. Yep. It was definitely a better show than last week. Definitely like the Strap said, definitely better paced. It was no real. Once the match started, there was no real time to say, "Hey, we're gonna hang it back for a minute." They was ready to throw hands at the jump, so that's always good. I don't think there was outside of the Nature Boy and Double A storyline, there wasn't really any real moving of the needle as far as any other storylines, which was cool outside of interviews. So I think they got that right. You didn't really need to kill the show we're trying to advance storylines through wrestling. The interviews did quite enough, thank you. So yeah, I did enjoy it more than episode 5. Not so sure if I liked it more than episode 4, but I definitely liked it more than episode 5. But then again, episode 5 was a low enough bar; it didn't really take much.
Facts. I did enjoy it. It's pretty cool. But BDC, it's your time. Ask the question you ask every week so far. Start with John.
We have a segment. It is called "What is your moment of the night?" I haven't come up with a catchier name to add to it, so it is just right now. It is just your moment of the night. So, Strap, starting with you, what was your moment of the night with this episode of Nitro?
Zodiac going, ooh. If you just want to take a random moment and be like, make that the picture of the show, just have the fucking WCW hat with disco in the background on Hawk's shoulder pads. Random moment in time. What the hell is that? That's a cool snapshot right there.
All right,
Got your
'cause
attention.
you just named mine. So, Dom, what was your moment of the night, my friend?
Oh man, I'll probably say Sabu. Seeing Sabu in action.
Okay.
It's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
I have
At the
to.
time for 1995, it's definitely pretty interesting.
Yeah,
So
yeah. My moment of the match was indeed when Hulk got the cap put on the back of his shoulder pad because them shoulder pads were so big he did not even know it until he got to the ring. And he looked over his shoulder, and that's when he realized he had made it 100 feet away before he realized he had a cap on his spike. That was
what a
hilarious.
rush!
One of the baddest wrestlers of all time.
God, Cloud.
Sami Zayn, what'd you put on my Udo follow? Same thing. Same energy.
That clowning was hilarious to me.
Yes. Well, Strap, you said you want to know what happened earlier in the night because it was a 1 hour show. So BDC has the dark matches.
Yes. So we had dark matches. We had 4 of them. All right. The first one was Paul Orndorff defeating the Renegade. That was the first one. The next one was for your WCW World Television title. How does that work? We mention it every week. Diamond Dallas Page defeated Alex Wright. So they needed a dark match for a television title match. They didn't put it on television. They put it in a dark match. Yeah. Another dark match was Eddie Guerrero defeated Dean Malenko again. He got his rematch, and he lost again. And the last dark match was the Taskmaster defeating Macho Man Randy Savage.
Damn.
Those are your dark matches that ran before or after Nitro aired.
We're not sure when.
We're not sure when.
I mean, theoretically, Macho and Taskmaster could probably be the last match, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Well, on the other channel, on the Raw side, I made a mistake. Last week I said it was a couple matches, but it was actually the wrong match. So while Nitro's taking place, Raw, 1 hour at the time, they had 2 matches. The first match is Camp Cornette, Owen Hart, Yokozuna, and the British Bulldog taking on Shawn Michaels, Diesel, and the Undertaker. And then your main events, you have Fatu taking on Skip. So, watching Nitro, hearing the Raw card for next week, or for that same day, what show would you want to watch?
Well, I mean, what's up with that 6-man, man?
That 6-man would have been, that
Kick off the show,
6-man is epic. I can't believe they had us. 6-man is epic.
Guys, I just started watching Atlanta season 1, so it's either that or find this match on Peacock. So, that's my lunchtime viewing.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, well, for next week, episode 7 on Nitro, maybe John might be into this one. Maybe. We have Johnny B. Bad taking on Diamond Dallas Page for the TV title.
On TV.
On TV.
On TV.
We have Chris Benoit taking on Eddie Guerrero. Benoit's debut. We have Meng taking on Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Or a giant face masker. Kaiju.
Yep.
Kaiju.
And then we have Sting and Ric Flair. Ric Flair found a partner. And he's going to take on Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman in your main event.
And there are no dark matches. That's the card.
Have mercy.
Not a dark match in sight.
Well, John,
although they could have definitely put Disco Inferno on Hulk on Road Warrior Hulk on a dark match, because that would have lasted about 35 seconds though.
And there is no further research to be done. There are no WCW Saturday nights for 1995.
There was.
Not on the Peacock.
Oh no, Peacock, no.
There's nothing else to watch except Nitro
Yeah.
at this period of time and pay-per-views.
So that might be the reason for no. They just ended the dark matches for that reason.
Well, John, we appreciate you being on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll have you on again. You can choose the episode.
Standing invitation.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I know where this show is going to go, and it's going to get great. And so it's kind of like, damn it, I'll be out here all the damn time now. Or I'll be watching along on the side. God darn it.
So the funny thing is, while I'm doing my review for the show, and then John, he loves Hulk Hogan. I'm like, oh my God, you guys see this promo Hogan doing? I'm like, yo, here's a timestamp. Go watch this shit right quick. And he just starts rambling like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? Oh man, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny watching this shit back.
It's fun.
I can't wait to see when they go 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun when it goes to 2 hours. It's gonna be interesting when it goes to 3.
Well, we got a long time for that one.
Yeah. we got some time. Got some time.
Yep. All right, fellas. Well, I'm the Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with BDC, and I'm also here with Strap Facts, and we bring to you episode 6 of the Nitro Podcast, and we will see you next time. Boom.